Good morning, everyone. This morning, we are going to be exploring isometric contractions. So we'll move through 5 or 6 movements that have our muscles contracting in such a way that they don't actually change their length. So that is what an isometric contraction is. And there's all sorts of great stuff that you can feel and explore and notice in your body as you move through these isometrics. So let's get started. First thing, we're going to start in sitting. So if you can find a comfortable sitting position, you're welcome to use a chair. I'm going to prop myself up on a block. You can sit on a blanket. You can sit cross-legged. You don't need to be kneeling like this, but we will be in this seated position for a few minutes, for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So make sure that you are that you're sitting in a way that you're able to maintain the position for 5 to 10 minutes comfortably. So before we begin with our exploration of isometrics, let's just come into stillness. So you can close your eyes if you like. And as you are sitting, just feel the sensations in your body. How are you feeling today? So checking in and noticing how you've been with your day and how your day has been with you. Great. Okay, let's begin. You'll need a strap and a block for this practice as well. So bringing your hands onto your strap about shoulder width apart, maybe actually a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Let's bring your arms overhead. I'm going to lower myself down because I seem to have cut myself arms off in the camera here. Good. So arms are coming overhead, and just pay attention to what's going on at your ribs here as you bring your arms overhead. See if your ribs can stay nice and quiet, nice and easy. There's no gripping or really having to hold your ribs down through the upper abdominals. Just bringing arms up overhead, and we're going to start with some movement. So this is not an isometric contraction. When we get into the isometric contractions, there won't be any movement, because if a muscle stays the same length, then it does not move. It does not pull on the levers of the joint. It doesn't pull on the bones to create movement. So here we're just gently circling around, and then we'll switch directions. Good. We're going to pause, and I'd like you to bring one arm further forward and the other arm heads a little bit further back. And again, pay attention. Notice your rib cage here. I'd like this movement to come from your arms. So notice if you're coming into a twist to bring one arm forward. And if you do, just back off a little bit and just moving through the arms. Wonderful. Then the isometric contraction that we're going to play with using the strap is to pull your arms away from one another. So, and then to relax. So I'm going to put a little bit of tension, or sorry, a little bit of slack into the strap so that you can see what the movement would look like if we weren't doing it isometrically. So your hands will come apart, and then you're pulling apart further, but you're holding on to the strap so they don't move anymore. Wonderful. And relax. So I'd like this to be a contract and then a relax. Beautiful. Contract and relax. Contract and relax. Good. Bringing your arms back down and taking a few breaths and just noticing what's up in your system now, having just done a couple of circles and one isometric contraction using primarily the muscles around your shoulder girdle. Good. Let's bring arms back up and circling again. Ribs stay nice and quiet. Good. Then we'll bring the other arm forward this time. So watch that you're not twisting through the torso, just the arms are doing this movement. And then we'll head into our isometrics, pulling the strap further away. So really adding tension into the strap, arms move away from one another, and then relax. Good. And notice, feel what you feel as the isometric contraction turns on and as it turns off. So you can slowly ramp up and then slowly turn off those muscles. On and off. Wonderful. On and off. Good. And bringing your arms back down by your sides. We're going to keep the strap in your hands for this next movement, but you can bring your hands right close together on the strap so that your the thumb side, I guess I can describe that as the thumb sides of your hands are right in close to each other, right in together. Beautiful. So bringing your elbows, bending your elbows back, bringing your hands a little bit closer to your chest so that you've created a bit of like a circle shape through your arms. Here we go. So for this movement, we're going to be pulling our arms wide and then bringing them back together. But because we're doing isometrics, you're holding onto the strap just enough so that your hands don't slide across the strap, so that when you pull wide, you're just going to be adding tension into the strap. Good. Relax. And then as you push together, so pushing your hands together, relax. Pull wide, relax. Press together, relax. Pull wide, relax. Press together, relax. So for this movement, or lack thereof, for this exercise, I'd like you to notice where are the muscles, what parts of you are tensing when you're moving into the isometric contraction, and what parts of you can you feel relaxing or softening as you come out of the contraction. Press, relax, pull back, relax, press, relax, pull back, relax. Lovely. Let the strap come off to the side. And again, just sitting in our easy, comfortable sitting pose. Check back in with how you're feeling now. Good. We are going to move down onto our backs. Bring a block and a looped strap with you on your way to lying on your back. So before you make your way all the way down onto your back, you can probably get yourself set up for our next exercise. So bringing your block into inner thighs so that the block is up quite high into the meaty part of your adductors, the inner thigh there. Good. And then the strap, the looped strap, will come around and cinch in your legs. So pull the strap pretty tight. So here's the setup. Block up pretty high, up into the upper inner thigh, and then the strap's right around mid-thigh level between hip and knee. And the strap is tight enough that I don't need to use the muscles around my legs to hold the strap. So once you're here, your legs are nicely supported. You just lay back onto your back. Feet stay nice and easily on the ground. Good. And then there's going to be 2 different isometric contractions that we'll play with here as well. The first one will be a gentle squeeze of the legs coming together so that you gently squeeze the block and then relax. Good. Gently squeeze the block and relax. Really nice. Then we go in the opposite direction where you'll bring your legs wide, but the strap is there resisting that movement, so it creates an isometric contraction. The muscles don't change length very much. So then just gently press the legs out wide into the strap and then let that go. Good. Press legs wide into your strap and then let that go. Good. Then we'll move into an exercise where we'll squeeze in gently and then relax. Then press out gently and then relax. And what I'd like you to pay attention to for this first round of 5 or 6 isometric contractions is what's happening into your core. What can you feel as a result of these gentle squeezes into your lower abdomen, the sides of your waist, and maybe even into your low back? So here we go. Squeeze in and let go. Squeeze out and let go. Good. Squeeze in and let go. Squeeze out and let go. Good. Continuing on in that pattern. So often when we come into strengthening exercises, and isometric contractions are a muscular contraction, so they can build strength in that muscle. And they're usually one of the first steps that we take in a rehab or physiotherapy context when we start to add strength back in for a person recovering from a fracture or an injury to their joints. But what's curious to notice is our mindset around strengthening. So we'd like this exercise here that we're doing is really all about strengthening around muscles around your hips. So muscles that control the movement of your leg bone in the socket of your pelvis. So just notice what your mindset is with this exercise. This can be gentle, this can be easy. And based on your mindset, where else in your body are you creating tension that doesn't need to be there, that doesn't add to the strength of the muscles around your hips? So is there any gripping or tension happening through your abdomen and your low back? And for that matter, is there any gripping or tension anywhere else, up into your shoulders, up into your jaw or your neck? Good. Still squeeze for a moment, relax, And then press out into the strap and relax. Good. Lovely. Let's move on. So you can loosen your strap and take your legs out. And you can bring your block off to the side as well. Lying down, bringing one knee up towards your chest, but just so that your hip and knee are at about 90 degrees. Then bring the same hand on the same side as the knee that you've lifted, just up to the top of your thigh or the top of your knee. So the movement here, the isometric here that we're going to play with, is having your hand push into your knee and your knee push into your hand gently and in such a way that you don't move. Good. And then relax. Good. Press knee into hand and relax. Good. Let's switch sides, bringing the other knee up. Hand on the same side reaches to press into the knee, and then it's a gentle push in and relax. Press hand to knee, knee to hand, and relax. Let's come back over to the first side. We'll do this again. And once again, this time, pay attention to your mindset with this gentle strengthening exercise. Notice if you really want to giver, if you really want to push hard and create tension. And let's try, just for something new, let's try to do a little bit less. Let's try doing all that we need to do and nothing more, so that you just push in hand to knee and knee back into hand, so that you can feel the muscles around your arm and your leg slowly turn on up to their peak force, which doesn't need to be very high. And then feel, equally as importantly, feel them slowly turn off as you disengage and feel those muscles relax and let go. Good. Knee to hand, hand to knee. Muscles ramp up and on. And then as you relax, ramp down and off. Good. One more on this side. Back down. Good. Switching sides. Same hand to knee still. Gentle push. Relax. Push. And relax. Again, feeling the muscles slowly turn on, ramp up, and then slowly turn off, ramp down. Beautiful. Let's switch things up a little bit. We'll lift up one knee and the opposite hand will come across to press on the knee. And for this exploration, I'd like you to feel how your core responds to this movement. So there's no need to pre-engage your core, no need to tuck your belly button to your spine or to push your low back down into the floor. Instead, just let yourself lie down, let your back be where it will. Lift the leg, let your back be where it will, bringing a hand across to the knee. And as you press knee into hand, hand into knee, feel the response in your abdomen. On and off. Let the response, which is perfectly appropriate in your core, feel how your core can turn on to meet the demand of this exercise. But equally as important, feel how your core can let go when the demand goes away. Good. there's lots of talk. Let's switch sides. Lots of talk about core stability and core strength, and certainly it's valuable, certainly in rehab and in like athletic performance. It's valuable just in everyday walking around. So here again, we're going to press hand to knee, knee to hand, feel the response of your core. And then as you release that press, feel the core disengage. But what that importance seems to have translated into in terms of exercise in the physiotherapy world is, and in yoga for that matter, is that we're cued or we're taught to pre-brace our core, so to activate these muscles before the demand from our extremities. And then we're taught to maintain that held braced position as we move through our extremities. And you can get into difficulties, challenge, pain around pelvis, low back, because your core is too active or is holding on and does not let go, just as much as you can get into problems where the core doesn't activate enough. So it's important here for you to feel how your core responds to the challenge. And equally as important for you to feel how your core responds when the challenge goes away. It can relax. It's not a system that's meant to be under tension all of the time. Wonderful. Let's move into one last movement. We're going to come all the way up into standing, and I'm sorry if my head gets cut off here based on my camera setup. We're going to come all the way up into standing, and then bring your legs wide, and then turning up at the thighs so that your knees and your toes point off to the side, and then just sinking down into a squat. So this is similar to goddess pose. Good. Come on back up out of the squat. Feel your feet, base of your big toe, base of your little toe, back of your heel, center of your heel, and then come down into your squat. Pelvis stays nice and easy and level. Wonderful. Now we're going to add in the isometric, bringing your hands behind your legs, and then gently, again, pressing legs gently, gently back into hands, and hands gently forward into your legs. So that if your hands won, your knees would come forward. But they're not going to, because we're doing isometric contractions here. So pressing thighs back into your hands. Gentle, gentle. Watch that like Hulk mindset that we can get into sometimes. Just calming the inner Hulk. Let your legs gently press back into your hands, and then let them release ever so slightly. Gently press back and release. 2 more here. Gently press back and release. Last one. Gently press back and release. Lovely. Rising up, bringing thighs back to center, and then come on back down into your original sitting position. And then as you land here again, you're welcome to close your eyes or to keep them open. And then here you have an opportunity for the next few moments to feel the effects of your practice. How have these isometric contractions landed in your body? How has the experience of noticing that, yes, it's important for muscles to turn on and to generate force, and it is equally as important for them to relax and soften? How has that experience landed in your body? I hope you've enjoyed this short exploration of isometrics. And I hope you felt something new, maybe learned something new during this practice this morning. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Namaste, everyone.